Alex Ovechkin, congratulations on scoring your 801st and 802nd career goal, tying and passing Gordie Howe for second on the all-time list in the same game, which thank God I was able to be home and watch that game and witness history. I mean, this is just incredible. We literally might never see something like this again.
Shades, we dove pretty deep into it last episode, but the greatness that is Alex Ovechkin, I mean, it just continues to grow day by day. And for now, he is quite a ways away from the next person. He is going to leapfrog on the list of all-time goal-scoring leaders. But once he scores his 894th and his 895th goal, the conversation is going to continue to develop furthermore into diving deeper into the greatness that is Alex Ovechkin. How great is he? We were talking about it last episode, right? If he reaches 1,000 goals, is he the greatest hockey player of all time? Can you make that distinction? You mentioned, which you made a great point, that if there was no lockout shortened season in 0405, in 0405, and there was no...
Well, that wasn't even a lockout shortened season. That was a full lockout.
Yeah, that was a lockout. That was a full-on lockout. Ovechkin probably would have been closer to that number. But for right now, we can bask in his glory. We can celebrate just the terrific talent that he is. And the fact that he scored 801 and 802 on the same night, that's pretty special as well. So.
And in the way it happened, too, it was like a range of emotions within 5 seconds of him passing to Kuznetsov and me going, "What are you doing?" And then Kuznetsov not shooting and passing back to him, me going again, "What are you doing?" And then Ovi, of course, scoring with his back to the net, which is just, of course he did, because he's Alex Ovechkin. And of course, it had to be a highlight reel empty net goal.
And it's insane that somebody with 800 plus goals, when in a goal scoring situation, when the opposing team has an empty net, is not looking to score a goal himself. He's not looking to get himself closer to breaking that record of Wayne Gretzky's. No, he's trying to pass it off to a teammate so he can get a goal. And of course, right, you do something nice, it comes right back to you. That's what happens to Ovechkin. And you're right. Very interesting point that was one of the few highlight reel empty net goals personally I have ever seen. And of course, the grade 8 is the culprit.
Yeah, no, it's just incredible to witness. And I mean, this is another conversation for another day, like you brought up. But I mean, if he does pass Gretzky, he definitely will be in conversation for single greatest of all time. But let's make a prediction right now. Does Ovechkin pass Gretzky? And 2, when? Me, I'll answer this first. 1, I think he does, because he's only 37 and still scoring at the rate that he's scoring. And 2, I think he can get to 930, 940. Pretty, I don't think that's too much of an over-exaggeration.
Yeah, I do think he is going to break the record. I'm going to agree with you. I think he breaks it not this upcoming season, not this next season, but maybe the season after that, or maybe the season following. I do think he's going to take a little bit of a dip as far as his goal scoring production is concerned.
Hi, Liam's mom.
Yeah. Man, I was really trying to go all the way through, but I saw the smile. But I think he's going to break it in the next few years. And as far as where he ends up, here's the thing, right? If he gets to a point where he's ready to hang up, the skates and he's at 950, 960 goals, does he push himself to just say, "Hey, give me one more season, give me 2 more seasons. Maybe I can rack up 2 20-goal seasons to end my career, and then I can get to 1,000." So I don't know. It's tough to call right now in 2022, but I'll say he'll definitely inch his way closer to 1,000. I think he'll finish with somewhere between 950 and 970, if not maybe reaching that mark if he continues to stay consistent. And, Shades, just going back to what you said before, just a quick little snippet. You were talking about that once he reaches or breaks Wayne Gretzky's goal record, it's going to change the way we as fans really perceive who is the greatest of all time. And Alexander Ovechkin subsequently enters himself into that conversation. I think, with Mario Lemieux, and especially Mario Lemieux, right? Because he is the number 2 player of all time, right? If you ask any player, any fan, right, of course, they're going to say Wayne Gretzky, number 1, Mario Lemieux, number 2. But longevity has a lot to do with that. And, I'm not taking anything away from Lemieux's career. He is as talented as any that has come through the National Hockey League, especially as young as he was, and how much he was able to produce and the amount of points he was able to put up. But he didn't stay on the ice all that long. And with Alexander Ovechkin, what really separates him We've talked about it. How many games has he missed in his career? Is it under 20 during his entirety of his career? I mean, that's just absolutely insane. So for me, that's what separates Ovechkin. It's not just the goal scoring, it's not just the statistics, it's not just the unselfish play. It's that he's been able to do this while staying on the ice, while taking time off for a lockout, something that you can't even blame him for. So I just, the point is, the greatness of Alexander Ovechkin goes a lot further than the stat sheet really proves, which I think, most fans, tend to lose sight of sometimes.
Yeah, and just lastly, a handful of those games, select few, were self-inflicted suspensions because he decided to not play in the All-Star game, which
Exactly.
which is in my opinion, a stupid rule, but I digress.
It is
We don't need to go into that. But
yeah.
yeah,
But I could talk about Ovi for days, and I know you could too. So
oh, same. Literally, outside of the Rangers, my favorite hockey player ever.